Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about, are you getting spiffed with flushes? Let's talk about it here for a minute. So when I was at the dealership, we used to get what was called either dealer bucks or spiff stickers from either the mock guy or the dealership themselves. So if we upsold a cabin air filter or an air filter, they would give you dealer bucks, and you'd put them to the side, and at the end of your work week or when you collected enough of them, you could exchange them in for a chance to gamble or scratch and win or rip and tear. Little tiny blank guesses, little tiny squares on a grid. You'd rip it off and it'd tell you how much money, how much cash value that sticker or that spiff was worth. So maybe it was $1, maybe it was $2, etc. So each spiff that you got, you would get a dealer buck or what have you. You had enough of them, that's how many tears you can get. If you saved up 50 of them, you could get the whole entire sheet, which was worth about $100. Which is great, especially for those of you that need it. And at the lower level, so if you're making $10 an hour to start, it was even more fantastic, especially if you were 2 weeks in between pay periods. It's how you can get a little extra coin back in your pocket at the end of the week. Now, with the stickers, when it came to like mock stickers, at the other dealership that I worked at, you would collect them up. Some of them will be worth $1, some of them will be worth $2, and then some of them were $3. It just depended on like what service you upsold, whether it was a diff flush, a trans flush, a coolant flush, or a brake flush. Now, who's really getting spiffed here if you think about it? Because the younger guys, of course, it's an incentive for you to upsell more work, bring in more customers for the dealership. From the customer standpoint, did they really need the flush? Were you basing it off of mileage or previous service history? See, at the independent shop, we don't do the flushes. There's very rare that we ever actually do any kind of a flush, and we don't charge like extra. There's no incentive for doing it if the fluid is really, really bad. And of course, I myself am a believer that if the fluid is gnarly, you want to change it or try to exchange it out. It's just going to make those components last a little bit longer. That's still my belief. But there are certain situations where it becomes so far bad that you can't save it anymore. And when you go to evacuate the system, if you're changing a component out, you're putting fresh fluid in it anyways. And so it behooves you to clean out the entire system or flush it with something. Especially with all these transmissions that I get that I'm doing rip and tears on, we have to flush the system with a special trans cleaner, which goes all the way through the condenser or the cooler and comes back out the other line, clearing the entire system of any kind of debris or nastiness that fluid had to begin with. So I think there is an incentive behind flushing systems, but I think it's sometimes I think it's pushed too hard on the customer, and it's a little bit outrageous. I saw some guys flushing systems at like 20 and 30K. There's no real reason why you should have to flush a system within 20 to 30,000 miles. Now, you guys can disagree with me down in the comments, but this is where I kind of ask you, who's really getting spiffed here? Is it the tech or the customer? I think we can all agree that there are limitations, that you need to limit yourself on how many times you're upselling a specific service. There's a time, there's a place, and there's a fluid condition or concentrate that you have to focus on how is it really benefiting the customer, not just how it's going to benefit you, the tech, at that pay level, trying to get those incentive bonuses so that way you can have a little extra coin in pocket. Because remember, you want a customer for life. If you're upselling them constant things that they don't need, chances are they're not going to be a customer for very long. You're going to get a bad review, or your shop's going to get a bad rep as a result. So I wanted to bring this topic up today. I was thinking about it earlier when I had a customer ask us if we did flushes. And of course, we gave them the scenario, not myself, but the writer slash manager gave them the scenario of when we would actually do the flush and how we don't try to force flushes onto anybody, because 9 times out of 10 they practically don't need it, and by the time they need it, it's almost too late. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What's your idea on spiffs? Are they good for the customer, good for the tech, good all the way around, or is it like I just got done explaining? Depends on who it's who's really gaining anything from this. So I want to know, are flushes worth it for the customer? Are they worth it for the tech? Are you getting spiffed at work? Does your shop give you incentives for upselling stuff? Let me know down in the comments. I'd be curious to know what shops are still offering incentives behind it, or if it's just part of the service nowadays. That's what I want to know. Thanks as always for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers, and deuces.